Hello, welcome to another video of Pi International. Our today's topic will be absolute values. Now, absolute values, when we have done before previously in our school years, our teachers most probably have told many of us that just take off the negative sign and it will be an absolute value. But I will explain it to you why we have to take off the negative sign, or why we have to take off the positive sign, or what absolute value really means. Let's consider a number line. When we have drawn a number line, I have set some positive numbers on the right hand side and some negative numbers on the left hand side. Now, if we consider these two values for x, then we can say that x equals positive 2. But then if we consider it somewhere over here, then we can say x equals negative 2. Let's consider two values of x. For the first one, we have x equals 2, and for the second, we have x equals negative 2. Now, when we represent this information on a number line is basically when you have positive figures and negative figures, then x equals positive 2, it would mean that it has gone from here to here, right? So this is x. So you see it has gone to the positive direction of 2. But what is the distance? How many units or how many figures has it gone? It has gone 1 and 2. So basically it has gone 2 units. The distance covered is 2 units. Similarly, if we consider x equals minus 2, then we can say that it has gone from here to here for this value of x. And how many units has it gone? Similarly, just 2 units. Absolute values doesn't consider the direction, or doesn't consider the negative or the positive. It just considers the distance that it has covered. So we can say absolute value represents distance. And in order to show it, we call something as modulus, or just these two lines. So if we say the modulus of negative 2, it will be always 2. The modulus of positive 2, it would be always 2. So it's not only about taking away the negative sign. It's about the distance, the units that it has gone. So 2 is basically the 2 units that has been traveled. 2 positive, it means the 2 distance that it has traveled. Doesn't matter, is it on the positive side or on the negative side. Next, we are going to try absolute values with equal signs, and we will try to solve a problem. Over here, I've written an example. Modulus of 5x minus 2 equals 13. Now, if we want to take off the modulus, then it would be given two different values. It can be positive or it can be negative. So I can write it down in two different ways. I can say 5x minus 2 equals positive 13, and the other one I can write 5x minus 2 equals negative 13. Why did I put a positive and a negative over here? Because this was the modulus or the absolute value of 5x minus 2. So this doesn't have any positive or negative direction or sense of direction. So when I'm taking off this modulus, the answer, it could be positive or it could be negative. So let's do the positive first. If we want to substitute x and leave everything here, then adding 2 on both sides, that would give us 15, and that would give us the value x equals 3. And for the negative, we can say minus 11, x equals minus 11 by fifths. So we have the two values for x that would satisfy the absolute value for 5x minus 2 equals 13. So if we try another example with a multiplication of 2 on the before the absolute value, let's see how we can do this. It's very much simpler, the simple way that we had done before. We're going to take off this 2 by dividing 2 on both sides. So that would give us 3y plus 1 equals 10. And similarly, the way we have done before, it's going to have two parts. 3y plus 1 equals positive 10, and 3y plus 1 equals negative 10. And so we will have 3y equals 9 and y equals 3. And over here we will have 3y equals negative 11 and y equals to negative 11 over thirds. So these are the two values of y that is going to satisfy the absolute value for 2 times 3y plus 1 equals 20. Now we're going to try the same problems but using not equal signs but with inequalities and see where the difference is. The first tip of solving the absolute values using inequalities would be when dividing or multiplying by a negative number, always flip the inequality sign. What are the inequality signs? We have less than, we have greater than, we have less than or equal to, or we have greater than or equal to. So if we have these signs instead of the equal signs, then if we have to multiply or divide by a negative number, then we have to flip the signs. Let's consider this example. Modulus of 6x plus 2 is greater than 4. So if we want to take off the modulus, we will have to do it in the same way. 6x plus 2, it will be greater than positive 4. And over here, 6x plus 2, it will be negative 4. But since it's a negative, right, and it's a negative number, what do we have to do? It won't be greater than anymore. The sign will flip and it will become less than negative 4. So if we first do over here, 6x is greater than 2 and x will be greater than 1 over 3. Similarly over here, we have 6x is less than minus 6 and x will be less than negative 1. So if we want to draw a number line and represent these values, over here I've just drawn a number line, not to the scale, but just given some values. On the positive side, I've written 1 over 3 because that's one of the values that we have got. And on the negative side, I've wrote negative 1. Now, over here we can say that the value of x is greater than 1 over third. So it's going to be on this side. And for x is lesser than negative 1. So x will be lesser than negative 1. So for all the values from these two sides, it's going to satisfy the modulus of 6x plus 2 is greater than 4. Let us do one last example, and I hope it will be very much helpful to have a clear idea on how to solve the absolute values problem. Over here we have modulus of minus 2y plus 6 is less than or equal to 18. So as usual, we're going to divide it into two parts. Is to take off the modulus, minus 2y plus 6 will be less than or equal to 18, and on this side minus 2y plus 6 will be greater than or equal to negative 18. Since there's a negative number, the sign will flip. So if we consider on this side, negative 2y is less than or equal to 12, and we're dividing both sides by negative 2, it would be y, the sign will change, and it will be negative 6. And on this side, negative 2y would be greater than or equal to minus 24. And if we divide both sides by negative 2, then it would give us y, and the sign will change, and it would give us positive 12. Y is less than or equal to positive 12. Then again, if it is harder to visualize how to represent these values, then we can represent them on a number line and see how it works. So we have a number line and we have the values of 12 and the value of -6, and we can say that y is less than or equal to 12. So over here, now it will be colored, is less than or equal to 12, and we have y is greater than or equal to -6. So we have another point over here, and it is covering this side, and whereas it was covering this side from 12, so it is somewhere over here. So from -6 to 12, +12, all the values of y is going to satisfy this equation. Modulus of -2y plus 6 is less than or equal to 18. I hope this was much helpful for you. I'll see you in the next video.